There is an opportunity right now where you can have a DR91, that's domain rating of 91 for pennies tomorrow, overnight, basically. And that is because of a Google blind spot. So if I look here at this domain, okay, us.com, this is essentially a country domain. It's a domain in itself, and it has a very, very strong domain rating, 91. And you can see huge amount of organic keywords, huge amount of organic traffic. Essentially, look at the backlink profile. This is about as high powered as it gets. Okay. Now, all of us could only ever dream of working with a domain of this power. But right now, because of a blind spot that Google has, that I'll be completely honest, is going to be patched very soon. So act now and get ROI fast. But because of a blind spot that Google has, we can get a domain of this power right out of the gates. Now, I'm going to show you what that blind spot is from Google. So what I've done here is I've put in dumbbell.us.com. Now, this could have been anything, sauna.us.com, insurance.us.com, doesn't matter. The important bit is that we have the .us.com, because what's happening right now is that Google is incorrectly treating this as a subdomain of us.com. So it's essentially seeing it as if it's part of the overall domain structure and family of this incredibly high-powered domain. And so you can see this is also inheriting the domain rating from this incredibly high-powered domain. But if I come to Namecheap, you can see this domain name is available to buy and for me to build on right now. And this is asking for $20. I could probably find it cheaper elsewhere, right? Okay, so what does this mean for us? Well, the first thing that I want to say is this is not black hat. There is nothing illegal or unethical here, as long as we are responsible with how we handle the traffic that we get from doing this. Also, at the very end of the video, I'm going to give you a golden tip for how to do this at a much higher level that gives you a much better chance of ranking position 1 with this strategy. But right now, let's talk about how we go about ranking in position 1. So as I mentioned, this is not unethical. We are essentially just using Google's miscategorization of the new domain that we've bought and gifting it that domain rating. But it gives us a much more realistic chance of going after a high volume keyword like dumbbells. And you can see here, if I look at what's ranking on page 1 right now, sure, we've got Amazon up the top, but other than that, the other domains are a lot less powerful than the domain rating that we're inheriting here. So we have a realistic chance of trying to get a site up the top of page 1 where we would normally have no hope. And you can see if we run some estimations on that 90K per month worth of traffic, depending on how high up the page we can get it, if we can get it to index and rank on page 1, we'll be looking at somewhere between 10 and 35% of that 90K per month. So a really significant 10, 20, maybe 30Ks worth of intended visitors who are interested in dumbbells. Now, this would work for dumbbells, insurance, payday loans, any sort of product, service, etc. If you want to try and get to the top of page 1 and grab leads by doing that, this is a great fast ROI play. So how do we do it? Well, the first thing we need to do is we need to buy the domain, and I'd probably spread my risk here. If I'm running an e-com site, maybe I have dumbbells, treadmills, etc., to give myself a wider opportunity. And frankly, if I get any of those sites, which I'm going to take long to throw up onto page 1, the ROI is going to be massive. And so what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to buy the domain, and then I'm going to use something like Surfer SEO to create some content that make sure that I've got on-page optimization for SEO combined with my really strong domain rating. And so I'm just going to make sure that, for example, dumbbells, if that's the keyword I'm going after, that all of the entities that need to be included to show relevance to Google are in there in the correct proportions, that I've got my heading structure right, that I've got the related keywords in there, essentially making sure I'm producing a strong piece of on-page SEO content to give myself the best chance of ranking. And then essentially all I'm going to do is make sure that my domain that I've bought that is on this parent sort of country domain of us.com and is therefore inheriting this DR is up, live, and then I'm going to put it through something like Omega Indexer, which is going to push Google to index it right away, and hopefully it's going to make it to the top of page 1. And then it becomes a complete lead capture game. Essentially, if I manage to get 20K visitors in that month by ranking at the top of page 1 for a keyword, it's all about how many of those can I turn into a lead? Can I bring into my ecosystem so I can nurture them on an email list and sell products to them? Or indeed, perhaps you're more about monetizing the lead itself and selling them onto a company that can facilitate the service they need. Doesn't matter whether they want to buy a custom sauna, buy dumbbells, get legal services, get a payday loan, have a pool installed. Essentially, if you're at the top of page one for those parent keywords, you're going to have the attention. You need to capture the leads because that is where the ROI will come from. And in terms of the little level up nugget that I promised you, if you're really serious about executing this strategy and giving yourself the best chance of hitting the top of page one, then canonicalizing this via an expired domain gives you a much, much higher chance. Any questions? Reach out to me in the comments below. I want to hear if you're going to use this.